Let's not do that. So my stream was interrupted. I was having technical difficulties. So had to reset to do a little switcheroo, and now we're back. Yes, I have two crowns on just because I can. Because one is not enough. It's like, who said that I got too many chains? I need another neck. Like, I got too many crowns. I need another head. But no, if I had two more heads, that would be, or even one more, I would be, if I had two more heads, I would be like Cerberus. I couldn't be like that. Like, I could not be one of them people that would be like part of conjoined twin. Like, I can't imagine somebody hanging off your neck, like literally. And I know that that's something that is very rare and is very unlikely to happen to people. And obviously, it can't happen to me. But I would not want to live my life like that. And I was watching this show about like medical oddities and stuff, and these parents, they found out that their kids were conjoined in a way that I don't feel like it was conducive for them to even try to have. Like, if you know that you are going to condemn your life to a child of suffering, I feel like the most humane thing to do will be to abort, because like the way that they were, the girls were like basically like this. One was like, her neck was always like this, and there's no chance of them ever being separated. And I know that people, those are, it's like a shock value thing. People like that are very rare. But how can you? It's almost like you. I mean, you're literally two people. You have no privacy. Like, I saw that the one set of conjoined twins. One of them is married to a man, and they both feel, sensations below the waist. So how do you tune that out? It's not fair. It's like, hold on, you're not about to be using this part of my body for a man that I'm not even married to. At that point, I feel like the man should just be with them both or not be with them at all, because that's a little weird. But there are all sorts of medical oddities, and it makes me feel better about my own, that because I don't have anything that is gratuitous. Nothing I have is visible for the most part. For the most part, my disabilities are invisible. But when people have, shockingly visible deformities and disabilities, it that's why often these people end up being abused, and that's why a lot of times they're like, end up being like the freak performers at the circus back in the olden days. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, but now I see a lot of people with like deformities and disabilities, and you know what? They still find somebody to love them. And I I am very split on the idea of external love. I have been single for 3 years, entirely by choice. I don't know that I want have the energy to or even can be in a relationship at this juncture in life. One, because of my health, but like I say, if people with worse deformities than me can find love, somebody out there has to love me, right? But then I think, why do I even want that? And there was a quote from what was the lady's name from? Okay, The Emperor's New Groove. This is how I forget her name. I have to look her up by what I know she was in, and then try to find her character that way. But the the crazy lady. Oh my God, we're just taking so long. The Emperor's New Groove. What's the problem? But anyway, she said something in life like, I fall in love with myself, and I want someone to share that with. And that's kind of how I feel. It's like, I fall in love with myself, and I feel like there is someone out there who is worthy of being with me and seeing that. But on the other hand, I don't know if I have the energy to put forth and give in a relationship. And at this point in life, I feel like I don't have anything left to give, so I'm just going to be taking. It's like, what do you do when you have nothing left to give? All right, internet, you about to piss me off. So if you don't have anything left to give, you're just going to take. And I don't deal with men because the men that want something from me, they want sex. They want no strings attached sex. They don't want to get to know me. They don't want to know the person I am. They are interested in my shell, my avatar, if you will. That's what they're interested in. They're not interested in the real me. They're not interested in getting to know me. And so why on earth would I give someone who doesn't even care about me, want to get to know me, know anything about me? Why on earth would I give someone like that access to my body? The Emperor's New Group. Like, why would I give that person access to my body? And that's why I've been abstinent or celibate, whatever you want to call it, for the past 2.5 years, because I don't feel like men are worthy of my body. You know, I don't know if you would call it like sapiosexual or what, but I have to know who you are, and I can't even be turned on by you if I am not turned on by your mind. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, if I don't know who you are, I can't, like, for me, sexual attraction is based on here. Like, it's based on chemistry. It's based on, intelligence. I've been with some ugly motherfuckers, I'll tell you that. I've been with people that you would look like you and them, like what? But I was with people because I was interested in things other than their looks. And then I've been with people who were really attractive. It's like I've run the gambit as far as people that I've been with, like dated and stuff. It depends on what I'm attracted to about them. But now at this point in life, like sure, I used to like meet people and hook up with them just because I was interested in the physical. But now in order to even be interested in the physical, I have to be interested in the mental, the spiritual, and if someone's not even willing to get to know me, how can I even be interested in you? Like you're interested in me because you like the way my body looks. Okay, cool. That to me is irrelevant. It's irrelevant to me how my body looks because you're not trying to get to know the person that I am. And that like immediately kills it for me. Like I had a guy message me not long ago and he was cute. I would have given him the chance to get to know me and he fumbled it immediately. Immediately. Like for men who are so obsessed with pussy, they sure do cock block themselves a lot. So this guy asked me if I if I date older, I mean not older, if I date younger men. And so, what I say is if he's bold enough, he's old enough. And like that's his cue to try to get to know me. And then so mind you, I didn't know this person before 5 minutes ago. We've been talking for literally 5 minutes. And the first thing he says to me is like, talking about how he's tall. Okay, you're 6'3". Well, I'm not a height queen because I'm 5'9" myself. I'm not trying to be looking up to nobody. I prefer people around my height. If I'm being honest, I don't like super tall men. I know that a lot of women do, but that's not my thing. So he's like, oh well, I'm 6'3". Are you? basically like he's like, "Are you trying to climb me like a tree?" And I'm just like, "Well, I climb trees on occasion, but that's not what I'm trying to do here. This is not why I'm even talking to you." So it's like, you gave your cards away 5 minutes in that you only want to have sex with me, right? And then you completely fumbled any chance of that. But it's like, in order to get a woman to have sex with you, you almost have to act like you don't want it. Like, act like it's not even on the table. Act like if it's being presented to you, that it's not even there. And like, talking about sex immediately after knowing someone for 5 minutes is such a turn off. Like, why on earth would you think that you, a stranger, I'm going to give you access to my body? I'm giving you an opportunity to get to know me, not my body. I'm not giving you that opportunity. He's like, "Oh, are you trying to climb me like a tree?" And I'm just like, "No, sir. I am a lumberjack. Like, I will cut your tree down." And I just stopped the conversation right there. I didn't give any sort of explanation, and I just blocked him. Because why? Like, like I said, men are so good at cock blocking themselves. Like, again, you have to act like that's not on the menu, even if it's the thing that you want the most. Act like it's not on the menu, because that's not a way to treat people. And I feel like the bar is low because a lot of women do accept mediocre treatment from men. Like, I ain't gonna lie to girlies, I feel like we're part of the reason why the bar is so low, because so many of us will just accept the bare minimum treatment of men, or will give any man that wants you the opportunity. No, we are supposed to be choosy. And this is why I say the game is so fucked up, because back in the old days, women had their pick of the litter. Women had their pick of suitors to choose from. This internet is really pissing me off. Women had their pick of suitors to choose from, and a man had to court them. A man had to court them and prove their worth. And it was basically like, may the best man win. And somehow, it's now there are now what we call pick me's, because women are hoping to be chosen by a man. The game is so fucked up. And it's so backwards, because now a lot of men want to be the bitch in a relationship. They want a woman to take care of them. Like, good example, my ex. So when I tell you that my ex blocked me, Eartha Kitt, that's who it was that said that. What did she say? Okay, to cut myself off. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, this is the quote that I was trying to remember. Eartha Kitt. I fall in love with myself, and I want someone to share it with me, and I want someone to share me with me. And I really get that. That's what I was trying to say, but I don't always speak so eloquently. But back to what I was saying about the game being fucked up. So, right, like how women had the pick of the litter, and now women are hoping to be picked by a man. So women have given their power away to men, and now men feel like they are the prize. The man is never the prize, and a man can be like, "Well, I have all the money, I have the car, I have all these things." No, that is what enables you to get the prize, right? It's like, you got, in order to win the prize at the fair, right? You have to what? You have to pay to play. So in order to win the prize, you have to put in the effort to win the prize, and these are just tools that enable you to win the prize. I will never say that the man is the prize. And if the man is the prize, then why aren't people out here paying for dick? Why is pussy being paid for since the dawn of time? So men are not the prize when it comes to relationships, right? The woman is always the prize. Like take Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Men have started wars for women. Men have died for women. Men have done just about anything in the world to get with a woman. And now men aren't going to war for women. Men want women to go to war for them. Men want a woman who has a house, a car, who are just like ready, like my dad used to call us saying, like a ready made family. And they want somebody who already has it all and they can just slide up underneath, slide up in there because she already has everything you need instead of you being a provider and getting it yourself. And that's why, you have these pick me and Barbara the Builder types that are so desperate for any sort of love that they'll settle for any man that wants them versus being choosy. And that's why my ex, Mr. Amazon, that's why he left me, because he was a 40-year-old man who lived with his mommy, and his mommy was moving to North Carolina and he didn't want to move out of New York. And because he didn't want to move out of New York, he had an ex who was she was like 50 something. So he was 40, she was 50 something. I was in my like early 30s. And she lived in the projects, but hey, an apartment in the projects is better than no apartment. She lived in the projects, she had a car, she had everything he needed besides, being a good person. You know, he would complain to me about her all the time before, because we were friends at first. But the point is, instead of him being a man and being the provider, he wanted someone provided for him. So he left me for her. We talked about moving in together. We were going to move in together. And then he lost his job. He got fired. He didn't have good credit. He didn't really have any. The only thing he had to his name was good dick. And dick don't pay the bills. You know, pussy can pay the bills if you want to break it down. But dick can't pay no bills. So because Dick don't pay the bills and his mommy was moving and he didn't have anywhere he could go, she offered and knew that was the bait, that was the hook, and she hooked him. Okay, I ain't even mad. She hooked him, and then he moved right in with her, and then he had a car that he could go like he was a pet. He was a pet. He was a kept man, and a lot of men now want to be taken care of by women. How do you want to be taken care of by a woman, but then you still want pussy? Like, so it's like, okay, she's basically paying for a man to be there. You're paying for dick, sister. You're hustling backwards. And if I have to go through any of that, I can just be alone. Like I say, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to be alone. It's just not something they know how to do. They are uncomfortable in the presence of just themselves. So they need someone else around to, validate them for whatever reason. There are so many people who refuse to be alone. And I should have known he was like that because he's like, oh, I've never been single in my life. I'll get out of a relationship and within 6 months I'll find myself in another one. Like, again, a lot of people don't know how to be alone, or they keep going back to people who are bad for them. And now, like I said, the dating game is so fucked up that the men want to be the women in the relationship. And, it's nature. Nowhere in nature does the man just do nothing and then wait for the woman to come to him and prove her worth to him. Like, how they have these birds of paradise and they have to do these exotic dances and stuff, and they have to do and the woman, she's just sitting there. She's just sitting there watching them doing her thing. And it's like, may the best man win. And somehow the dating game is so, so, so fucked up. And these men want to be the women and then call themselves leaders and protectors. And how can you lead? How can you lead the person that came before you? You know, men start their life by coming out of women. The women were here first. The woman was here before you came out of her, and then you come out, and then you think because your genitalia is external that makes you a leader. I don't understand it. if men were such great leaders, the world wouldn't be a shit show. You know, patriarchy doesn't benefit anyone, not men, not women. And I've seen people who are like, well, oh, well, matriarchy doesn't benefit. Patriarchy is about um is about men feeling like they are superior to women, and matriarchy is equal rights for everyone. But a lot of people think matriarchy is misandry, and I don't know. Like, it feels like there's just such a divide in this world, especially between men and women, especially because women have now gotten to be more self-sufficient. Women are in now a generation where we don't need men to provide for us. So it's like we have had to become more sufficient on ourselves because these men are not providing. And now that we found that we can provide for ourselves, that a lot of us don't even want men. And of course, there are still some people stuck in these toxic patterns where, like I said, being with people who are bad for you, being with people you ain't got no business being with, like people who are low vibrational, people who are bad for your energy, your spirit, your soul, but you can't leave them alone. And I have been that person in my past, but that's not who I am anymore. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be somebody who depends on people for validation. So I do not build myself up or let myself fall based on external validation, whether it be, you know, good validation or bad validation, whether it be somebody telling me, oh, they think I'm so pretty and I'm so this and I'm so that, or they think, that I ain't shit. I should go crawl in a hole and die. And either one of those things, it's not going to make or break my day. It's not going to hurt my feelings because you cannot get to me. You cannot get close enough to me that something you say is going to hurt me. It's like you have to be out here wearing spiritual armor and not have any chinks in it so that nobody can get to you. And that's where I'm at now. Nobody can hurt my feelings because nobody has access to my feelings. Nobody deserves my feelings to even be about them because, again, nobody has put in the work. And this is why I say I don't even know if I can be in a relationship, if I want to be in a relationship. Sometimes the I miss the companionship of being with someone. I miss, just the simple things. Like, just, like I used to love, like, when I had a boyfriend and I would go spend the night with him and we would just have a movie night. We would just chill, like, just enjoy each other's company. But then that comes with the bullshit. Eventually, you know, once once feelings come in, which they inevitably do, then that comes the bullshit. And I don't have the energy for that. And I just don't know if I want it anymore. So it's like, it's deciding if that's even worth it to me. And so I sometimes I'll be like, I feel like I could do a relationship again. And then other times I'm like, bitch, where? But the thing is that I spend so much of my time in solitude. People don't really have an opportunity to get to know me because I don't go out. I don't drink. So that puts me at a disadvantage for being around people, especially my age, because a lot of people drink, a lot of people, do drugs, smoke weed, do all the things that I used to do but no longer have an interest in. And how can you be compatible with someone if you don't enjoy doing the same things? And I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's improbable. Like, most of the time, the people that try to talk to me, it will be because they see me online or something, or they'll be like, hey, what's your Instagram? Blah, blah, blah. And then, they inevitably bounce themselves out before they even really have an opportunity because, like I said, men cockblock themselves. But yeah, I'm getting tired. I think I'm about to go lay down. Y'all might see me back up here later. I don't know. But I'm about to talk to myself out. My energy level is low. Gonna go replenish my energy level. So until next time.